Hello. Um, so it took me forever to even just jump on right now. I don't know why I started getting anxiety, and then I noticed the song, just I started humming it and I didn't know what it was, and I was like humming it as I was like trying to figure out what it was. And this is why, part of why I know, first of all, it like starts with a hum or something, or a jingle, and then it's like a song that I don't usually listen to, like my own type of music type of thing. So the song was sorry, Lady Gaga, I think, On the Edge of Glory. I don't know if it's that the whole thing, but that's the whole part that I was singing. So, well, I'm on the edge of glory. Anyway, I think that's I don't like it, makes me feel super goofy when I actually sing it, but I gotta let you know what I'm talking about. So apparently I was gonna start with this, but then I just went over here. So let's see. I was gonna do tiles, and I mixed up two more um, individual decks with the other tile, the other like 5 decks or something that I'd mixed up previously. So we're gonna get like some insight. And it might be a little extra long reading, so settle in. I don't know if it's gonna be extra, but here we go. Whoa. We got anger and grew. Uh-oh, okay, so somebody could be kind of, this is fine, getting a little too comfortable with volatile feelings, okay? But at this point, they could be really feeling confined in certain ways. Okay, there's a need for somebody to recognize where they're meant to be leading away from, and, to trust the signals that they're receiving. All right. Somebody could be trying to mask their true feelings, but at this point they are paying more attention to intuitive awarenesses. Okay, so like I said, with the signs of the universe, somebody could be paying more, a little attention, or a little more attention to what it is that it says inner magic, divine force, okay, spiritual energy, mystic power. So somebody could be feeling like they're, moving forward a little more intentionally towards something that's bringing them a greater sense of ease, okay? So even just like in comparison to these 2 pictures, okay, there's the fire, and then there's this one where he's like, I can figure something out with this right now, like it's not like the passion has to go away or something, but you could be kind of fine-tuning it a little bit. But also gems or jewels could be something significant. But look at that. Okay, so somebody could be recognizing that as they move forward more intentionally within their intuitive awareness and stop from masking themselves, okay, they could be moving forward towards a more abundant situation, okay? So it says, I am unchained, okay? So somebody could be really releasing themselves in a way where they are no longer restricting themselves from the, the passion that they have within. We have a charming chat with inspiring news, where somebody's going to be clearing the fog, okay? So somebody could be getting some clarity coming forward. Yeah, somebody could have been dealing, and it's interesting because they're both cats right here that have come up, but, somebody could have been dealing with a lot of, negativity, just kind of being frazzled and, feeling isolated because of this, but they could be coming to, that clarity that could be bringing in, a greater strength and purpose within someone's intuitions, instead of just kind of like trying to figure out whether you should follow it. There's like this greater insight of what's to come once you do, okay? All right, yeah, so somebody could be ascending to the highest vibration of human life, okay? You could be getting to a position where you are harmonized. I was trying to read both these words, but never mind. Harmonizing. It says harm brace right here, so I was trying, it's like a typo, I'm assuming. But it says embrace your being, basically, harmonia. Oh no, I did it again. Harmonize your energy. I think I might need to be doing that right now. Anyway, but you could be getting to a position where you feel that you are moving towards a refuge for a flowering soul. Okay, you could be getting more comfortable, cultivating your true spirit and receiving certain unexpected surprises. What's interesting is when I was shuffling the other cards, I saw that there was some type of surprise dynamic that could be coming up. So that's could be a confirmation if you've already heard that yourself. But anyway, I'm not gonna let you in no more because it's supplies. But somebody could feel clueless or helpless. Okay, they could be feeling a little fragile in a certain way, really kind of they have been overwhelming or allowing their emotions to overwhelm, but at this point they can be moving forward in a way where they are taking action where there's no turning back, and they're entering a brand new world. Look at that, how funny. We got brand new world right here with body mind unity. Okay, and justice is coming. So all right. So yeah, somebody could be kind of a little trepidatious, but you know, getting ready to move forward. All right. We got Aurora Borealis, okay, and somebody's going on a journey, or you know, really kind of leading themselves to a completely new environment. And also like kind of open themselves up to the etheric awarenesses that they are creating. Okay, right. All right, somebody could have been dealing with certain mental traps that were you know, fooling or misleading them, creating illusions. But at this point, somebody is going to be breaking free. Okay, we got Dreamweaver. So yeah, somebody could be breaking free and moving forward more intentionally, knowing what it is that they're needing to either get out of or move forward towards. Okay, but let's see what's going on here. And I've mixed so many cards up in here, so I'm really kind of curious to know what the story's gonna be. Here we go. Let's see. Keep these in order. So let's see what this one is, because it came out in sideways. So transitional. Okay, somebody is kind of meeting the challenge at this time. Okay, somebody could be taking action to liberate themselves towards their dreams and goals and overcome adversity or challenges. That's nice. I feel like there was one that I was going to pull and I just put it back, so it's annoying. I'll take these, I guess. And that one. Okay. It's going to take me a minute to get up through all these, but we can just think of what challenges we might be desiring to overcome. Okay, this one. Oh, okay. Let's see if that one's a reverse, because it looks like it came in reverse, but okay. Okay, here we go. Let's move this out of the way. Peter. Oh, I guess I'll just see what piles they come out on. Oops. Just kind of going crazy over here, though. Can't really say. Full show. Okay. Somebody could be having an epiphany. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Put this. Okay. It's such a mess. Let's see. Somebody might be needing to organize things a little bit. Okay. 2 over here. Alright, we got something like I think 10 piles right here. Okay. Alright. Okay. I don't know if I was gonna go in that order, but I guess I'll figure it out when I get there. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah, somebody could be moving forward towards challenges, okay, that they've been, wanting to overcome, okay. Somebody is exercising control at this time to avoid manipulative tactics, okay. They could be feeling really fired up and passionate right here. And they've had some type of wake-up call when it comes to a soulmate or twin flame. All right. Oh my goodness. Somebody could have had a lot of different obstacles that they felt were consuming them in certain ways. They've gone through a lot of different highs and lows, but at this point they are, getting to a more ready position for a relationship, okay? We have an epiphany that could have occurred, okay? There could have been some type of realization, okay? Somebody could be somebody could be feeling like they are at this point missing out, okay? They could have dismissed something or rejected something, but at this point they're feeling that there is it says insulting your soul right here, okay? So somebody could be feeling like they, with certain dismissal of a situation, they could be feeling like they're really kind of dropping the ball, all right? Somebody could have had like, kind of wild type of lifestyle, right? And they could have a lot of, people in their life in general that they have, close ties with, but they've could be, in a position where they've been making bad choices or having certain games that they were playing. And, they could be having certain consequences when it comes to the mixed signals that they had been putting out there. Peter! At this point, they could be getting to a, confusing state of mind because of certain feelings they could be having and a, something they've been concealing or keeping to themselves. We got a dirty little secret right there. And they might be wanting to express their affection, okay? They could be wanting to present themselves with good intentions and clean up a certain mess. There could have been certain relationship conflicts. Peter, come on. Oops. This card fell and I didn't. Oh, cute. I didn't even know that fell. We got a sacred blossom right here. So, somebody could be really feeling like they are, blossoming into a new position. There could have been some type of separation. But at this point, yeah, somebody's knowing what it is that they're needing to separate from, what they are no longer giving certain chances from, okay? Somebody could be knowing what they're needing to block, and they're wanting to take authority or assert themselves when it comes to unity, balance, gratitude, appreciation, joyful connections, nurturing love, family happiness. We got nurturing and nurturing on 2 of these cards right here, so nurturing and healing, right? So somebody could be really wanting to give back in a way that is, much more positive, okay? I feel like I kind of got, I think the dog just distracted me, but I felt like I, shifted, I don't know, anyway. So there could have been a shift, I guess, but somebody is kind of moving forward, into a position where they're displaying more self-care. Okay, they could be having some type of glow up that is bringing new opportunities into their life, and this could be you. I just keep saying they, but yeah, somebody could have been really going inward, being introspective, and doing the work that they needed in order to get to a more light fueled or light filled state of mind and being. Okay, somebody could be not fully being able to predict a certain situation, but they're wanting to kind of rebound in a way that they can figure out how to really kind of alter the course of certain situations. Okay. With the secret that they have, they could be feeling stuck with no options. Okay, they could be feeling trapped. There could have been some type of ghosting situation where there wasn't any type of closure, but at this point somebody is wanting to, let me see, okay, excuse me, they're wanting to get to a more joyful position where they can really feel their feelings more openly and easily in a way that they're not restricting themselves, and they could be over kind of not following their dreams or making up their mind. They could be really fed up with being unsure of what the possibilities are at this time. Okay. All right, and we have effed you over in reverse, so there could have been, like I said, some type of rejection or abandonment, mistreatment, but at this point they could be, you know, wanting to work on fixing those things. Okay, somebody could be expanding their mind in a way that is creating major shifts and changes. They could be creating new awarenesses and opening up to their senses, awakening dormant wisdom. And they could be wanting to embrace the journey, adapt and thrive, and move forward in a way where they are embracing more intimacy, mutual respect, unity, and closeness. Okay, so somebody's really wanting to present themselves. They could be feeling, we got these two, look at, we got this one where the rose is being held right here with the rejection, and they feel like they're like doing something wrong, and at this point they got it again. They're wanting to embrace this, and they could be feeling a little clownish in certain ways apparently, but they could be wanting to move forward more directly, proactively, what's the word, obviously. Okay. Okay, so somebody's wanting to cultivate life's equilibrium. They could have felt overwhelmed, and they're wanting to nurture their inner being. Okay, they want to focus on themselves instead of focusing on what they had been contained or restricted by. And somebody's wanting to be fearless, moving forward boldly and saying what's on their mind. Okay, they could be wanting to ask for clarity in a situation where they had been having mixed signals. Okay. Right, and yeah, somebody's wanting to get a certain reality check. Okay. They could be kind of seeing who had been filtering themselves or masking with false stories. But somebody's wanting to get to a greater awareness of the truth. Okay. They could be wanting to stand up for themselves, cut certain ties, liberate and awaken. They could be planning on some type of meeting or discussion, and they're, you know, feeling that they're, you know, moving in a more harmonious, I was able to say it, harmonious way, with balance, peace, and happiness. Okay. And somebody could have been trying to delay the situation. They could have been trying to kind of take their time until they got to a stronger position within themselves mentally, being able to be at peace. Okay, they could have been having a lot of different depressive outlooks previously, or hopeless outlooks, and at this point they're wanting to initiate with like a new set of rules. Okay, somebody's wanting to have a heart-to-heart and you know, try and rebuild, own their mistakes. It says new rules, same souls. Somebody's wanting to acknowledge a certain situation. They're wanting to be openly grateful. And they could be realizing that they were, you know, focused on outside influences or attention. And it could have been something that was like, you know, more easy for them to falsify themselves in a certain persona of sorts. But at this point, they are kind of wanting to shift and change. Okay, they could be wanting to, you know, even move in certain ways, but they could be, you know, really wanting to change what they are part of within their physical world. Okay, they want to loosen up, free up their energy, okay, and move forward with a greater sense of wisdom, okay, and awareness. They could be bringing forward their truth and no longer, you know, allowing for doubt or questioning. Somebody could be getting to a position where they are separating themselves from, you know, what they're recognizing isn't meaningful to them at this time. They're immersing themselves within their emotions and finding harmony, remembering their worth. Okay, they're recognizing that the self-sacrifice or certain rejection had been depleting their essence. So it's like there's this realization of not expressing your truth is leaving you in this kind of like hole of, you know, what's going on around you in your life. You're always just like, okay, you know, okay, whatever the case is, you know. But when you kind of, you know, stand up for yourself in a way that you're no longer agreeing to something that other people feel you're meant to or something, you know, like when you start taking action more intentionally for yourself, you can lead your way out of that kind of confinement. All right. Okay, but we have deserving, balance, and it's coming. Okay, so something could be kind of falling into place with a family dynamic. Okay, and we got a new boo right here. Okay, so somebody could be, you know, really being able to openly express their love or the care that they have, and they could be moving forward towards wanting to learn more about each other. Okay. Somebody could have been in a egotistical type of outlook in certain situations, but there's been some type of perfect or divine timing type of situation. There could have been a lot of different awarenesses that were formed, and somebody is kind of recognizing more serendipitous moments. Okay, we got green flags right here, so somebody could be really paying attention more to the positive that they are wanting to embrace within their life. Okay, and they could be recharging, clearing their mind, breathing and letting go when it comes to karmic lessons. Somebody is recognizing what they needed to learn in order to, you know, avoid having to go through it again. Okay, but somebody could be really kind of getting to a more confident position with the shifts and changes that they're making. Okay, let's see if I can pull. I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I can. We're gonna keep it half and half. There we go. Well, I don't know. Okay, so somebody could have been having certain toxic masculinity be at the forefront. Okay, could have been like their focus in certain ways, and that could have been part of what had been bringing in the mixed signals previously. But at this point, somebody's wanting to pay more attention to the soul whispers, okay, their internal state, and they could be wanting to, you know, ground themselves, get back in nature, and have some type of spiritual release. All right, we got a new challenge again right here towards second chance. It says you have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts thoroughly, but keep going, okay? We have a do-over moment, lessons learned, wiser hearts, a test from the universe, will you repeat or rewrite, okay? So somebody could be feeling like they're moving towards a new opportunity, but also a new, challenge for them to overcome. Look at that. All right, we got, there's like, somebody's recognizing the difference between somebody who's fueling them and charging them up and who's taking their energy from them, okay, and taking the light that they have within them, okay. Somebody could have been emotionally unavailable, but they had a, this is the third sneaky link card that came out, okay, so I think that's all there's going to be, but they all came out, so somebody could be, really keeping certain feelings to themselves, but at this point they are recognizing that they have certain proof of their feelings and of the difficulty they had been going through with others draining their energy, okay? At this point, somebody's wanting to get to a more peaceful position. They're trusting the process, and they could be recognizing there is a twist of fate that's happening beyond their control. Okay. So with being, feeling drained and, not connected in certain ways that you'd be desiring of, or having certain situations. That's weird. She's wearing my earring. That's strange. Anyway, having certain things that aren't able to, like kind of line up in the way that you're desiring and leaving you feeling without, like with somebody feeling that way. At this point, they're wanting to kind of see for themselves when it comes to the feelings or emotions that they have within them. They could be wanting to get the proof and the evidence and confirmation of what this shift or change could be for them. I think it was this one. Oh, we got divine timing. How cute. I can't even tell which one's trying to pop out anymore. They're all the same. There we go. Ah! Okay. Oh yeah, another song that I had was Keep Shining. So, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna leave that there. I'll see if those are supposed to be in reverse. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, where somebody had been feeling isolated or having even a self-inflicted isolation, they could be getting to an awareness that they're able to move into a situation that they feel is a safe space, okay? Okay, divine timing could definitely be at play. There's a need to kind of trust the schedule and, take action accordingly. Somebody could be feeling like they, have a lot of broken dreams based on the drama that they have had to endure in their life, and different unaligned like expressions of care that other people have, I guess, so it's like, instead of feeling like, we got love bombing right here, so instead of feeling like somebody's wanting to be openly receptive to all these different expressions of love or whatever the case might be, they could be feeling like it's created more issues in certain ways than they would appreciate for it to, okay? So at this point, they're wanting to pay more attention to their intuition, okay, their gut feelings, and they could be wanting to move forward towards what they are wanting to act out or could have been desiring of, okay? Somebody could have held a lot of anger and frustration within them, and at this point they're learning to forgive and to let go of grudges, okay? All right, they could have been this one came up right now, so they could have been getting more direction from the divine realm and really kind of seeing the signs that they needed in order to kind of alleviate themselves, assert themselves in a more intentional way that's, not just a drain or wasteful. Okay, they could be really wanting to like, conserve their energy but take action when they know they're meant to. Hold on, Peter. Okay. Feel like I'm gonna go over here now. Oh. I just noticed I have what's the vibe, what's the tea, what's the news. Those are the names of these oracle decks or whatever, so it's kind of funny. Whoops. Okay. Let's see. Keep these in order. Okay. Alright. So there could have been some type of distance, okay? Separation, ghosting. We have divorce as well. So there could be certain changes that somebody is wanting to make when it comes to, you know, the direction that they're going, okay? They could be wanting to get closer, you know, release themselves, move forward, you know, whatever the case might be. But at this point, somebody has gained a greater sense of clarity or awareness in their clarity, okay? They could be feeling much more in tune, and they're wanting to, you know, stay present in a situation where the truth is emerging, okay? They could be feeling like they are really kind of seeing things in a multi-dimensional way. Basically, somebody could have felt like there was a situation that was like too good to be true, or they're trying to read between the lines with, but at this point they could be seeing that that there's just a true connection. Okay, we got soulmate, feeling seen and safe, home, and a human different from the rest. So somebody could have felt that there was certain reasons for them to have you know, triggers or warning signs be brought up, but at this point they could be feeling like they're getting to a more comfortable position. So that's funny. I made a painting, and this kind of reminds me of it right there. Just a flower, but with the heart. So anyway, that's cute. So somebody could be kind of, you know, seeing signs in the situation and the connectivity. Okay. Ouch, they could have been feeling that a situation they thought was a fantasy was a potential reality. Okay, so they could have been you know, in denial of this. Okay, holding on to, you know, bitter, salty, or angry or petty outlooks and behaviors, but or thought processes. But there's some type of turning point apparently that has occurred. Okay, somebody could be recognizing the falsities, and they could be, you know, seeing what it is that they're really not wanting to commit to. Okay, somebody could be really learning a lot, wanting to express themselves, but keeping this to themselves. And they could be recognizing that they have, you know, there's like intense feelings. There could be familiarity in a situation. And they could be, you know, they could have been living in the past. They could be realizing how they've been, you know, living in, you know, a past time frame that's, you know, you can't go into the future if you're trying to drag that with you, you know. So when you alter the awareness that those things happened for, you know, educational purposes or something like that, and you release your feelings from it, then you're able to kind of have that awareness, the education, but move forward in a way where you utilize that as insight to navigate forward. But anyway, somebody could be revealing certain secrets. Okay, we got a cat's out of the bag. Somebody could be spilling the beans, and they could be, you know, kind of wanting to get into a more present tense type of outlook. Okay, they could be wanting to immerse themselves into their feelings much more easily and calmly, or let me see, like peaceably. Okay, they could be wanting to just be secure within what they're feeling, instead of you know, feeling triggered by their emotional awareness. Okay, so yeah, somebody could be wanting to take action in the now. Okay, we got a release. Okay, somebody is wanting to heal and transform. Somebody could be having certain waves of worry based on what other people are having to say, or what other people's intentions might be. We have jealous, envious, petty, attention seeking. Okay, so somebody could be wanting to move forward in a more, you know, joyful and, you know, celebratory way, but they could be feeling like they're, you know, not necessarily wanting to, let me see, confront, other people's falsities. Okay, or what type of, you know, outcome they would be having to deal with based on, you know, other people's viewpoints. Okay, but at this point somebody is wanting to defend themselves. Okay, they're creating certain boundaries. They could have felt blocked or fragmented, and at this point they're trying to allow for themselves to get into a much more calm state of mind. Okay, they could be relaxing and you know, kind of just no longer allowing themselves to focus on the feelings of others. Okay, so interesting. Oh, live. So somebody could be wanting to have a deep conversation. Okay, an intimate discussion. They're wanting to be blunt and honest and have a heart-to-heart. Okay, they could be stressed out, tense, and kind of worried, but there's a lot of passion. Whoops. Crap. And that's probably where that's stemming from. So, my God. We got two things with vacation on there, so that could be something that, you know, somebody might be waiting for a time where they can feel more at ease and calm. Oh my God. Okay. What's funny is when I pulled those last cards out, it felt like it was like, you know, okay, I had this meditation yesterday. Oh my God, these cards. I had this meditation yesterday, and it was like not even like a, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. It wasn't like a normal meditation. It was just kind of like this like thought process. Okay, but it kind of like was one because of where my energetic, like I was like kind of lucid or something, I guess is a good way to call it. But oh my God. So let me get these in order. So what was I saying? Okay, oh yeah, thought process. It was like energetically I was like feeling the fact that I need to like clean up in my room and organize things. And this happens every once in a while where I like get all overwhelmed, where I'm like just like I could like feel the stagnation or something, maybe, I guess. But so yeah, somebody could be kind of feeling this in their own way, but like there's a need, I guess, to figure out, and this is what I was realizing, to figure out what the plug is. Like if you're thinking about a bathtub or something, there's the plug and it's holding all the water, and until you release that, all that energy, you know, once you're done, can't go anywhere, you know. But so I was thinking, like, what in my room is creating the, you know, the blockages, I guess, like, you know, energetically, like feng shui wise, I guess, you know. And then I was like, oh, okay, I figured it out, you know. And then I was like, I just got to do that one thing right there, you know. And then everything else will just, like, you know, go the way it needs to, you know. So, anyway, that could be relevant. I don't even remember why I brought it up. Anyway, you guys probably do, but Hopefully. So yeah, somebody could be wanting to move forward with a heart to heart. Okay, they could be feeling a lot of passion. They could be feeling that things are heating up. Okay, and they could have been really kind of holding back, restricting themselves, but at this point they're wanting to, you know, move forward in a situation where they feel, you know, they're wanting to, you know, link up. All right. So somebody could be kind of aligning their masculine and feminine in a way where they are, you know, kind of grounding their energy. Okay, they could have had some type of spiritual awakening, and they're no longer wanting, you know, they're not wanting to settle. They're just wanting to shine their light. Okay, they want to be open with their desired expression. And what's funny is we got these two with this, with the sun coming in right there, shine your light. And somebody could be feeling like, you know, what they feel is a wish. They could be really grounding this into their life. Okay, and getting more at ease within this. Let me see, this one was kind of in reverse. Okay, yeah. So somebody could be finding it hard to kind of relax at this time, or, you know, get away in the way that they're, you know, desiring of. But my goodness, wow. But we have yeah, somebody could be feeling like, you know, they're wanting to create, you know, this connection more intentionally. They could feel that this is a strong relationship dynamic, where you could be uplifting each other. Okay, we got a soulmate, long distance power couple, with divine energy surrounding you. Okay, so there's this it says two strong energies aligning, building together. Okay, and this could be, you know, protected. There's you know, a romance, friendship, and communication is your lifeline. Okay, so somebody could be feeling like they are no longer wanting to kind of avoid this. Okay, they could be wanting to move forward intentionally. Okay, and then what's funny is it says building together, not competing, and then competitive was right here. So somebody could have been in this position where they were, you know, kind of like having that tit for tat type of outlook, I guess, right? And at this point, they are creating a greater sense of self-awareness. They're cutting through illusions, detaching from their ego. Okay, they could have awoken spiritually, and wow, there could have been certain falling outs, disagreements, or back and forth debates when it came to political scenarios, okay, office politics, where somebody had been kind of recognizing the falsities in the environment around them. They could have been trying to kind of play the part that they needed to in whatever way, but at this point they are, you know, wanting to defend themselves. Okay, we have an important person, key player, somebody's wanting to have a commitment within, and they could see that this could be long-term. Okay, they have a lot of emotions that they are wanting to express, and they could be getting to a position where they are looking beyond appearances or surface story. Okay, they're wanting to uncover hidden depths for transformation, and they could be wanting to act with urgency. Okay, yeah, somebody could have been kind of trying to get to, hold on, mister, a greater understanding with a lot of kind of confusing signs, but at this point they could be this freaking dog, they could be wanting to take action with a positive intentions. Okay, they could be wanting to be, you know, in the moment, going against certain expectations. Okay, they could be wanting to bring something new after kind of aligning themselves, body, mind, and soul. And look at that. Hold on. We got desire and I need your love right here. So, somebody could be feeling like they are, you know, no longer wanting to run. They're wanting to be vulnerable. They could be, you know, really having a strong desire and urge to move forward. Okay. Somebody's kind of moving in a way that could be unpredictable, but they're at the same time wanting to work towards their long-term intentions, what they're wanting to invest in, and they could be taking action quickly, revealing the truth. Okay. So somebody could be wanting to move forward in a way where they can feel that they're able to trust those around them. They're wanting to break out of bondage and embark on their own individual path. They could be blocking third parties or karmics. They've learned certain lessons, okay? And look at that's so crazy. It says third parties right here, and then it says third parties right there too. So both of those two, you know, both of them say that. So they can be kind of seeing the masks that the other people are wearing, and they are, you know, recognizing they're wanting to proceed with caution, but take action, separating themselves from the falsities, okay? We have real ones right there, and what is that? Opportunity, okay? So yeah, somebody could be feeling like they're moving forward towards a desired opportunity with a real connection. They could have been having unspoken desires and suffering in silence, but at this time they're wanting to break old cycles. They could be, you know, healing in different ways, and they could be wanting to take action in a way that is, you know, being wise. They could be having an influence on other people in whatever way it is that they, you know, whatever way they're living their life, but they're wanting to move forward towards a connection that they can feel is, you know, desired of on both parts, okay? Wow. And they could be wanting to transition. We got third party again right there, or karmic. I think it's both of them on there. So yeah, somebody could be wanting to shift and change when it comes to an intense situation. They could be wanting to create, you know, have a conclusion or an ending. And wow, they could be looking for you, it says. Okay, so, my goodness. It's a little direct. Look at. Okay, so, alright, let's see what else. I was going to pull. Oh, yeah. Hold on, Peter. He, was so impatient yesterday. He jumped through my window. I was like, you're ridiculous. So anyway, somebody could be being impatient. Okay. I'm gonna do one more. Okay. Whoa. It's funny because I'm all like, just shuffle before the cards come out. But they're like, you gotta come out. Anyway, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. These cards flew over here. Alright, somebody could be wanting to move forward with romance and passion, okay? They could be feeling that this is a destined situation, and they could be wanting to kind of free fall into the situation, seeing how things, you know, what the ripple effect may be, okay? They could be wanting to move forward and expand their energy, really throw themselves into the situation, moving towards a desired courtship with faith and hope. How cute. Look at this is funny though. So like this lady's jumping in the water and like the ripple effect right there. So it's like somebody could be really feeling much more at ease as they move forward, ready to, you know, see what happens. Oh, look at. And what's funny is we got two of those cards that just came out right there. Look, how cute. So yeah, somebody could be wanting to move forward towards strengthening relationships and having cooperation. okay, when it comes to family dynamic. Inner circle, blood ties, okay, somebody could have been caught up in toxic scenarios, friendships, or environments, and at this point they're wanting to be more you know, in a more playful type of way, okay. They could be wanting to focus more on you know, like positive and innocent enjoyment, okay. They could be having certain closure when it comes to, you know, moving out of those lifestyles and into a new chapter. Somebody could be wanting to have a conversation where they can get on the same page and feel more connected. Okay, they could be some type of, they could be watching from afar, but wanting to get to a greater sense of clarity within, you know, what this connection is. Somebody could have been doing the research at this point and realizing that there is some a dedicated partnership that they could be entering into. Okay, they could have gone through a major transformation, and even when it comes to the stories that they tell, they are feeling more inspired and hopeful. Okay, somebody could be recognizing that they'd felt burned out, exhausted, empty, or burdened, and at this time they could be taking the time to smell the roses. Okay, they could be feeling all the feels. They got love on the brain. They're wanting to express themselves within it. Okay, they could have been feeling embarrassed, trying to keep up certain appearances, but they realized how it had just left them feeling broken, lonely, or depressed, and they're wanting to move forward in a way where they can co-create when it comes to the, you know, the daydreams that they've had. Okay, so somebody's wanting to stay focused, utilize their willpower. They're wanting to resist temptation and maintain their boundaries, moving forward towards their truth with a mirrored soul. Okay, how cute is this? So somebody's ready to passionately move forward on a new chapter. Okay, somebody's moving forward with a clean slate, and they're ready to turn the page. Okay, they could have dealt with, you know, like I said, those unhealthy, certain unhealthy lifestyles, but at this point, they are getting to a much more secure position with what they've established in their life, and they're wanting to kind of treat this accordingly. Okay, so yeah, instead of just kind of being, you know, wilding out and stuff, you know, somebody could be wanting to invest their time and energy wisely into something that they can feel, you know, contented with. And we have safe space right here showing up again. Relax. There could be, you know, mixed signals, but there's a lot of signs that are being seen and guiding, you know, the situation. So you just gotta kind of, you know, let things play out or something. But let me see if there's a little more in here. One more little. Okay. Stay in there. Okay. Oops. Shit. Alright, alright. This is it. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. It's all over the place. Okay. And then this one, and I'll put this there. Here we go. Okay, so we got Lily. So yeah, there could be some type of chaotic energy that somebody's having to face. Okay, but at this point they could be having intense emotions and really wanting to move forward in a way that they are feeling like they're self-actualizing their desires. Okay, they could be moving forward wisely towards a situation that they feel is unexplainable or magnetic. Okay, and that they cannot resist. Okay, somebody could be kind of realizing the difference between kind of lustful energy and truly joyous or happy, okay, blissful energy, and they could be wanting to open themselves up to this. They could have had been guarded with certain defense mechanisms based on their emotions kind of going around in circles. But at this point, they are receiving sacred messages in order to experience inner peace instead of focus on comparison, envy, jealousy. It says fear of losing a spot, projection of their own insecurity, and yeah, they could be wanting to really pay attention to the signs that they're receiving instead of paying attention to the lower level energetic expression. All right. Okay, so it says unhealthy relationships, through destruction, new beginnings emerge. Okay, so somebody could have really needed to have certain things be broken down in a certain way to recognize what it was that they are, truly desiring of, that they feel is unconditional and they're certain about. Okay, so we have genuine love. To me, you are perfect. Somebody could have been foolish and toxic. They could have been kind of focused more on the drama, but at this time they're going within and realizing where certain feelings of theirs are lying or stemming from. Okay, like what they could have been keeping to themselves or pushing away. At this point, they're getting to a greater sense of ease and peace, regardless of what other negative energies might be kind of focusing on them, or let me see, trying to push them out of that sense of peace. Okay, but at this point, somebody could be feeling like as they've gone inward and analyzed themselves, they're feeling like they know themselves better. They're recognizing which feelings are running deep, and they're also feeling grounded within this awareness. They could be moving forward in a way that they feel, truly satisfied and whole. Okay. They could be, really kind of feeling that they're missing out on certain situations, but they are, let me see, not wanting to focus on the negativity. What was that last card? Dang it. Oh, I opened right up to it. Where to go? Did I even? I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, they could be wanting to kind of, no longer focus on the negativity, but feel like they're going where they're meant to be, I guess. You know what I mean? I already read those. Okay. Okay, so I hope I didn't just lose my train of thought and that didn't make sense because that was like closing out. But yeah, so it's like somebody could have been focused on what they could be losing out on in certain ways. They could be feeling like they're not wanting to release themselves from certain type of lifestyle, but they could be getting to a position where they're recognizing they need to see things in a more positive way overall in order to have the greatest potential kind of come up in a situation. Okay, so yeah, there could be a lot of, it says multiple masks right here. Somebody could be going through a major transformation, but at this point they are getting to a more intentional position within their position, like their presence and their leadership. It says, as you sow, you shall reap. Okay, so somebody's wanting to reflect on a situation and then act boldly, but they could be, really kind of recognizing that they need to have a balance within them in order to feel confident within the choices that they're making. But it's like, I don't know, there's certain situations it's always hard to say, which way this or that, whatever, but when you get to the basics of, or the basis of certain situations, like based on like incompatibility or just obvious situations that aren't going to be merging in any type of like without a struggle or without forcing things, it's like when you get to those understandings in certain ways of like how certain things won't work out in minute situations, when you try and think of a larger perspective, you know, like it's almost like the staying together for the kids type of thing, you know. So like it's obviously ideal for, you know, both parents to be in the home, and you know, you want to have a solid dynamic so the kids can have that solidity within their life and everything. But if you are, you know, in a incompatible position with your partner or whoever, right, and you're arguing all the time, or there isn't this like partnership or team dynamic, but it's oppositional and argumentative, you know, disrespectful, distrusting, or untrustworthy, you know, all these things, like when those are at the forefront in, you know, whatever the relationship is, based on it not flowing as it's meant to, then that is what the energy of, you know, what the kids are surrounded by, that they grow up into thinking is normal, you know. So it's like, instead of like trying to like falsify you know, what you say would be, you know, the perfect environment or whatever, based on, you know, ideals, right, but without, you know, with disregarding the actual truth. Oh, look at, I just read the Ace of Swords. It's a truth card. And the Ace of Cups are cute. So, without kind of, you know, disregarding the truth of your emotions, basically, right? Like, if you are doing that, then you're setting up, you know, not only your life and the others around you for, you know, less, not, I don't want to say necessarily for failure, but like a less, a lower ceiling, I guess, you know. If you're doing those types of things, then you're setting it up for that, and then that same type of unhealthy cycle progresses into the future from you know, the next generation. And what had been normalized based on two people like really not getting along well, or even liking each other or something, is then thought of to be normal from, you know, somebody who doesn't know any better, right, to see otherwise. And so when you can start to try and like see the cracks in a situation and not think that, you know, you're the only person who has to fix it or whatever, like when you see that there's certain things that aren't aligning and just won't, you know, there's no reason to keep pushing up against a brick wall when you know that you're not able to get through it, you know. So anyway, I feel like I'm off track, but I feel like I also was like leading in that, just with that last little bit of the what I read in the cards when I was looking through. But anyway, look at, we got the Fool and the Four of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So some of you really aligning with their higher self, or with their heart and their mind, which is their higher self, basically, and getting ready to take a leap of faith when it comes to the desired structure and relationship dynamics. Okay, so right. Uh-oh. Yikes. Oh no. Okay. A lot of cards. Okay, so we got the King of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So somebody could be really feeling, you know, content within what it is that they've built for themselves. And they could be feeling like they are, you know, knowing what steps they're wanting to take to feel confident mentally with what it is that they are building, and feeling like they're wanting to kind of move forward into a situation with a loving relationship dynamic. Okay, we got the Queen of Cups and the Hangman right here. So somebody could be wanting to kind of surrender in. They could be taking a leap of faith, looking at things in a more carefree way. You know, there's a recognition of the loss of, you know, the change in direction, but they're also seeing the more aligned structure that they want to have within them, okay, within their life, their home, their family, their relationships. And somebody could be kind of really knowing the worth of making these major changes. They could be moving from a more painful outlook or position into a more loving relationship dynamic, Okay, they could have been realizing they were restricting themselves from really creating in the way that they were desiring of, but just kind of holding their position until they felt, until they felt it was like safe to open up or shift and release. And at this point, somebody could be feeling that there is this more celebratory outlook that they can perceive when it comes to facing their fears. They could have felt that they were in a position where they're really holding back, or even being this like reminds me of the scene from, what's it called, A Clockwork Orange, right, where they had him like all tied up and his eyes were open and stuff. You know, like somebody could have felt like they were like you know, kind of brainwashing themselves or being brainwashed into a certain position. But at this point, they could be feeling like they're, you know, able to address certain fears in a more celebratory way. Like I said, you could be feeling like they're creating a momentum moving forward, easing out of certain situations, and moving in a way where they're having a reciprocal energetic exchange. Okay, so you could be feeling like they have strength and a sense of resolve when it comes to divinely guided relationship or partnership. And they could be, you know, moving forward in a way where they are, you know, anticipating more of what they had planned, instead of opening themselves up to situations or offers that they're undesiring of. Okay, somebody could be really feeling like they've created a more secure structure within themselves as they've aligned with their higher self. And they can be kind of ready to express their truth in a way that will educate others. Let me see. Okay, we got the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, these cards. Just keep going. Okay. I'm just going to try and start taking them from the top. There we go. So, somebody could be feeling passionate, like they're moving forward towards a new, inspiring new beginning, but they're also feeling stabilized within the action that they're taking. They could be feeling like they are really receiving what they need to in order to establish their foundation as they're desiring of, and they could be feeling like they've, you know, gotten to a more well-rounded position for themselves. Okay, somebody's ready to take action in a way they're leading themselves into a new chapter and ready to receive what they feel could be a gift in their life. Okay. And somebody's moving forward in a way where they are, you know, really educated in a way that can give them the confidence of moving swiftly into this new beginning. They could have felt that they've matured and blocked out different outlooks of lack or insecurity, or I guess insecurity. Yeah, so somebody could be feeling the work that they've done, they've really built themselves up in a way where they no longer have to you know, allow for certain insecurities to come to the forefront. Okay, and they could be paying attention. They could be, we got the intuitive awareness right here, and their environment, like somebody's intuitively knowing what it is that they're meant to pour into in order to create the environment that they're desiring of. They could be getting to a more comfortable position within these truths that they have within them, and feeling like, instead of it just being some type of situation that's outside of themselves, like they're really feeling educated within their intuition. We got the Eight of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Page of Cups. So yeah, somebody could be feeling really masterful within themselves and their ability, being able to charge forward into their divine path and you know, move forward towards what they feel is, you know, emotionally you know, a desire that they've held within them. Okay, they could have, you know, been mulling it over in some way, but at this point somebody could be wanting to express some type of message that they know is leading them towards their long-term desires and outcome, and they could be making plans more intentionally, navigating through the illusions, but also expressing themselves in a way that is emotionally balanced and sound. Okay, you could have a, you know, strong passion, feeling inspired to move forward towards this new beginning, you know, of emotional fulfillment. Okay. They could be closing out cycles of manipulation and deception and feeling really prepared to much more excitedly lead towards what they feel is a wish come true. Okay, somebody could be really knowing the importance within a relationship or team dynamic, and they're wanting to stay true to this, okay, regardless of the toxicity or the conflict. Okay, they're ready to kind of dedicate themselves and move forward into true alignment. Okay, so we got this as above, so below thing going on. Somebody could be really uniting all aspects of themselves and creating a balance, going through a major transformation, following their heart, getting the cooperation they need to engage and engage in what it is that they're wanting, and also walk away from, you know, what they know, that they're needing to leave behind. Okay, so somebody's getting a discernment and really moving forward more intentionally, knowing what action they're meant to be taking to come into this true alignment. Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like I've been here forever, but there's the story. Excuse me for the burping. 110. Okay. That was interesting. I was gonna pull. I was thinking if I should or not, but let me see. I thought of this one right. So somebody's embracing a personal transformation. Okay, they're recognizing the blessings, the sense of wholeness they have. Okay, they be wanting to be generous with their feelings, and they have a greater sense of hope towards what it is that they're culminating. Okay, so yeah, and they be really wanting to embrace a promise of the future. I don't know if I need to read anymore, but we'll just see what comes out of here. Okay. Alright. Oops, I just pulled it back again there. Whoops. Somebody could be a little distracted. Anyway. Okay, so we got intelligence. Okay, somebody could be, we got what are those called? Mad scientist or whatever. I could use one of those assistants for the mad scientist. But so somebody could be really kind of paying more attention to the truths that they've gained. Okay, we have energetic movement and achievement. So somebody could be kind of knowing that once they take action within the truth that they have within them, they could be really moving forward towards achieving what they're desiring of on their spiritual quest. Okay, they could be going to a much more delighted position after dealing with a lot of devastation. Okay, they could be feeling that they're being able to move forward prosperously and passionately with truth, fairness, and wholeness, and hope. How cute. So there's been a major transformation, and somebody could be having their priorities go towards, you know, what it is that they're really wanting to create within this. And we got a promise of the future and fulfillment. So somebody could be having a greater sense of fulfillment within what they know is to come into their life. Okay. So we got union and power. Somebody's focusing and concentrating and getting ready to explore. They want to protect the situation. They're paying attention to their guidance. They're having faith and wisdom within the divine support and the beginnings that they're moving forward towards. Okay, so somebody could be looking at a situation much more innocently, having a greater sense of openness and insight, and they could be feeling that they're persevering in a way that will be able to create stability and equilibrium within them. Okay, they could be feeling determined, wanting to be open, honest, and candid, and have a greater understanding that will help propel them on this transformation, give them a chance to reflect in a more joyful way, and initiate certain changes towards this, you know, within this positive outlook. Okay. Okay, somebody who's been able to like maintain their childlike expression and persevere, and they could be having, you know, embracing a greater understanding. I'm just gonna pull the rest of these apparently, but yeah, somebody could have had some type of death and rebirth that has led to a greater sense of righteousness instead of resentment. Okay, somebody's opening up to splendor, order, and peace. Okay, they could have been surrounded by darkness, but they have been receiving enlightenment and somebody's making a decision to move forward with meditation in ways or awarenesses in ways that they are healing, being able to nurture themselves and move forward with that intentional focus and concentration. So, okay. Well, hopefully this helped. And I don't know. Sound like I said a lot of stuff. So, all right. Bye.